For all the kids out there that think they can pull off the same stunts as the nice guys, hey, don't try this at home. Being a jackass is a lot harder than you think. Now, back to the nice guys on business.
What can I do? I can go home and I could look for them on an Etsy shop or something, and then I can wait months until I actually get it. Fuck no, I would never get it. But the fact that I can click the link and Amazon says, would you like that in 2 days or would you like that this afternoon? What the fuck? Of course I'm gonna fucking get it.
Well, looks like they picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue. They picked the wrong week to quit drinking. They picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines. Looks like they picked the wrong week to stop being assholes. And now, broadcasting from the hatchback of a 72 Ford Pinto, broadcasting from a secret bunker underneath Fort McHenry, broadcasting from the abandoned food court at the White Flint Mall, broadcasting live from their mother's basement, broadcasting from no closer than 100 yards from their court-mandated distance from Tim Ferriss, broadcasting from the back room of El Pollo Hermanos. It's Los Chicos de Niza por Negocios. Most days, they take their meds. This is not one of those days. Welcome to Fuckery with the Nice Guys. No interviews, no business content. Just your two favorite slack-jawed mouth breathers ranting about whatever. Now, strap yourselves in for Nice Guys Fuckery with the kings of fuckery, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
I am recording, and you were working on placing a pizza order.
Important shit here I'm doing.
I understand. You run a tight schedule. I mean,
I got 2 kids going, and here in the house with me, and time to make the donuts. Hang on, you texted me. Let's see the time.
It's well within my boundaries.
But at 5:31. Now I thought I was looking closely at my clock as I was ordering pizza because, I do not want to be late for Doug Sandler. I never want to be late, but especially positively for Doug Sandler.
Yes.
Now, did you send me that text because when I joined it was after the bottom of the hour?
What happened was I saw you joining and I had just hit the button before because you're so rarely late. Honestly, seriously, you have come like 180 degrees in the last 11 years of me doing this. 15 or 20 minutes late was more the norm in the first couple of years. And I was like, does he even know we have a recording today? I don't know. I don't know. But I knew that you were coming. I knew you might have been involved in, you jam your schedule with so many things, Strickland, that I don't want to be your schedule. I never want to have your schedule.
We have discussed this in the past, and just so I don't forget, welcome back. My name's Strickland Bonner, and the other side of the microphone, Mr. Doug Sandler. Right. But the difference in our time management, and you like to say you have a close relationship with time, and I have a formal, and I have an informal relationship with time. And I choose to see that through a slightly different lens. I mean, I don't 100% disagree. Okay. I'm not going to say I completely disagree, but I will say, wait a minute, I gotta turn my fan on. It's a little warm in here. I close the door when we do our recording. Because, I tend to, when Incredulous Strick comes out, and it gets a little bit loud. Exactly.
Kind of get animated. Strickland get animated.
Exactly. And so, a typical Doug, if Doug has an appointment, even a Zoom appointment at, let's say 5:00. Okay. What Doug is going to do is...
Which would not happen, by the way. Can you make it realistic? If I have a Zoom appointment at 2:00.
2:00 in the afternoon on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, because Doug doesn't work on Mondays and Fridays. So 2:00 on a Tuesday, a Zoom appointment. And let's hypothetically say that it's an interview, okay? Yeah. Now, Doug will make sure that, let's say 15 minutes ahead of time, he starts doing his research, because Doug's interview research literally takes 5 minutes. Okay. And so then at 10 minutes before 2, Doug is sitting at his desk and he's going to make sure, and okay, I'm ready. I have cleared everything else from my plate.
Oh, by
I'm
the
going to
way,
make sure
hold
that
on,
my desk
hold on.
is completely
By the way,
clean.
this is a dramatization. Strickland doesn't actually know, but he's pretty close with his guesses so far. Just so everybody knows this.
Right. And when I finish, we'll let Doug chime in on the things that I missed. Okay. So now he has done his research. He has his research on the computer in front of him. It is still 10 minutes before the appointment time. Doug is checking his desk to make sure that everything is cleared, to make sure that there's no extraneous like there may be like an empty glass or a cup, which he would need to take back to the kitchen and clean and then wipe down I was going to say wipe down the ring, but he wouldn't need to do that because there would be no ring because he would have used a coaster, okay, on his desk. I mean, a chilled glass or bottle would never actually touch the desk because it could leave a ring. So that would be on a coaster. But if that was the case, he would clean the coaster and put the coaster away if that was the case. So
you can't have a coaster just laying about.
Exactly. So now we are at about 5 minutes before, and Doug is going to close any programs that are not needed, double check his internet connection to make sure that it is working and it is good. And then he's just going to take a couple of breaths and relax and just wait until the time. And then when it is, let's say, 1 or 2 minutes before, he may jump into the Zoom meeting 1 or 2 minutes before the top of the hour.
Of course.
And then as he's looking at the clock, if it is 1 minute past the top of the hour, that's when he starts getting worried that he is being stood up. And then depending on who the person he's meeting with is, somewhere between 1 minute and 5 minutes past the hour, he will reach out to that person. Hey, just want to make sure you remembered our meeting. Just I'm here in the meeting. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Well, what and then can you take it to the next level? Let's say that person doesn't show up by 5 after. Then what happens?
Then by 5 after, it is.
I'm calling hospitals.
It's 5 after. I'm making sure, like, if it's your mom, if it's somebody else important, you're like calling the hospitals, and you are basically saying, like, you're making phone calls, you're sending emails, you're every way you know to get in touch with this person. And then if you still don't get them, and if it's somebody you don't know well, you're like, okay, they had their 5 minutes. I'm out of here.
Strickland has it 100% right. I have no tolerance for somebody that is not running a tight ship the way I do. But it's really funny because I really don't do like the rest of the parts of my life. Like you think somebody like that would every night, every morning that bed would be made and you could bounce a quarter off of it. You know, like
exactly.
The sink in the kitchen would be like spotless. There would not be a dish lying around. It's so not me in other parts of my life either. I drive these old freaking trucks. You've seen my trucks, and it's not, I mean, they're in good shape, but they're, you know, it's not like they're detailed. And yes, I do keep a clean car, and yes, I keep a clean office, but I am just not, you figured it doesn't fit into really my mold. I don't know why I do that with my schedule.
Well, and what is interesting that you mentioned that, because when it comes to everyday stuff, right? I like to stay busy, right? And I am basically, if I know that I've got a meeting at 2:00, okay, then at 10 till 2, or let's say the same 15 minutes before, right?
Yeah.
Let's compare apples to apples.
All right.
15 minutes before, if I'm working on something, I'm like, okay, cool, I got to wrap things up. And let's say by 10 minutes till I have wrapped up what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, I got 10 minutes. What am I going to do?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What else can I get done? Who else can I call? What other little loops can I close in the next 10 minutes? And I'm going to, do that and stay busy right up until the minute of. And sometimes it may go a little over, like in this particular case, as I'm ordering pizza for me and my kiddos, that, I was right up until the minute of, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to hit go, but I'm not quite done with this yet. And I need to figure out exactly how I can finish it up, but I'm going to let Doug know that no, I'm not late. But the thing that I was planning to do that I thought would take 8.5 minutes is
Took 11
apparently
minutes.
taking 9 minutes or 10 minutes now. And so I just need to let you know. Yeah.
You know, but I now have I think I knew that about you, but now I have a slightly different perspective because I really must not have known it because I'm about to say what I'm about to say. It's like, I think I didn't realize that when you have that extra time, you want to put something else in it. I always just think you don't have enough time in your life to do the things that you want to put in it. So, but what you're doing is you're saying, I'm making most efficient the use of my time and being as productive as possible, not I'm scattered and I'm everywhere and I just can't figure out my life. That's not you at all. I realize that, but I guess maybe I didn't realize that until just now.
Well, it's funny because in general, that is my approach. Now, are there times that I've got like a work calendar and then the personal calendar? Are there times where I've forgotten and that I put some kind of like, I've got a meeting and I didn't put enough of a reminder that it's actually a reminder and I forgot about the meeting.
Yeah.
That happens occasionally where with Doug, that would never, ever fucking happen.
No, that wouldn't happen. But can we take, and we won't use names to protect the innocent for this next thing I'm about to say, but let's talk about yesterday. We had a meeting with someone yesterday and we got on with somebody that he works with. And that person said, I'm not really sure where this other person is. Let me check. That other person was doing an errand or doing something else. And I get it that, we're all busy. We're doing busy. Wouldn't you think at some point, like if you had a meeting today at 3:30 at 5:30 your time, 5:30 with me, and you were running, let's say, I don't know, 15, 20, 30 minutes behind, wouldn't you just go ahead and send somebody a message that said, hey, I respect your time. I apologize. I have an unexpected errand that has come up. Can we go a half hour later? But we didn't get any of that at all. And it's just kind of funny because then you think, oh, okay. Is that fair? Is that right? I don't know. What's your thought about that?
Oh, 100%. I would absolutely have let somebody know that I'm running late. And I would say like, hey, if we need to cancel and reschedule, I understand. And I completely apologize.
On me, apologize.
And that would absolutely happen at some point before the beginning of the meeting, right? Exactly. That situation yesterday, I would say that it reminds you probably of the same thing that it reminds me of a former boss of ours who does not need to remain nameless because we've mentioned it many times before, Robert Sherman. Yes,
we love you, Robert Sherman.
Like if Robert was going to be 5 or 10 minutes late, that's expected for him.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And when you get to, let's say 10 minutes late, at that point, you might expect that you would get a text. Hey, by the way, I'm running late. Yeah. And I usually want to go, hey, since it's 10 minutes past the time we're going to start, no shit, I figured that out. Like it would have been nice to have known that ahead of time because, that 10 minutes, I could have squeezed some other small task into that 10 minutes, knowing that you were going to be late, and I would have been fine with it. Yeah.
Or if you're going to be 30 minutes late, do you have to arrive still on the phone with the person that you were talking to? That obviously was a bigger priority in my timeline. Right?
Well, even on top of that, if you tell us you're going to be 30 minutes late, then when you actually show up 40 minutes late, could you be finished up with the last business that you had instead of walking into the meeting, still talking, throwing your finger in the air like, hold on, I'll be right with you. I'll be right with you. Yeah.
We love you, Robert Sherman. That was just all about you. Just so you know. It's still,
but you know what else
it's still like, it's so vivid in my head.
So vivid. It's so clear. And we dealt with it for so long. What's so interesting too, that you say you're not like that everywhere in your life. When I was in the band, right, that I did for 24 years, I was in a wedding and special event band, right? It was the opposite. Let's say that we had a 5 o'clock start, or let's say it was a 7 o'clock start time, right?
Okay. 5 o'clock
For a typical load in, I would get there 2 hours ahead of time.
Right, 5 o'clock, right.
Even though we could be easily set up in an hour, right? I'll get there 2 hours ahead of time. And as I'm planning the day, let's say it's in downtown DC, right? And downtown DC from where I lived with no traffic at all was like 30, 35 minutes.
Right.
But with normal traffic, like 40, 45 minutes, right? I would put an hour.
Yeah.
Like I put in so much buffer time.
You're
for
back timing everything during the day.
everything.
And it's not,
I would typically arrive at least 15 to 20 minutes before my scheduled load in time. And that was earlier than it had to be to get in on time because that was critical shit. And I was not worried about, well, what can I squeeze in that 20 minutes? It was absolutely positively whatever could happen, I have to be there on time. And that's the way it is. But I'm not like that with the rest of my life.
well, it's just it's how we manage our life to make the most sense to us.
Yep. That's it. That's it. Exactly.
I wanted to make a couple of remarks. I actually wrote some notes down because I wanted to make sure I hit on each one of these things. So I have to tell you that I have never read the Nice Guys on Business show notes until you wrote a little remark in the Facebook comments, I think last week, about something about the show notes and AI and whatever else you did.
So just for those of you who don't know, because I don't know that I actually said this on the episode, we have a show note writer that does all of our show notes, and bless them, because we typically record on Thursday night
Right.
for an episode that is released on Friday at 3 a.m.
Right.
So basically, when we finish, I send it over to show note writer, said anonymous show note writer, and they basically have to listen to usually a fucking hour and a half long episode, and then they've got to write the notes and get it posted right away. But the joke is Mr. or Mrs. show note writer, because they stay anonymous. I'm not even going to say if it is a man or a woman. And in fact, I think for a Easter egg, I'm going to have to put the great song that Tim recorded for our show note writer. But
Did Tim do it? Was that
yeah,
Tim
Tim recorded
Jared?
it. Real man of genius.
It wasn't Jared? I thought for some reason that in my head I had Jared.
Oh shit! You know what? You're right, Jared. I am so sorry. I need to give credit where credit is due. It was Jared that did that, and it is brilliant. And I'll put it on as an Easter egg for this episode. But last week, we were talking about Emily at the end of the episode.
Right.
And I wanted to make sure that she knew how appreciative we were that she had called, because we missed her like crazy. And so I decided, you know what? I'm going to write the show notes myself. And there was a very funny line that I thought of, and I'm like, hey, I want to expand on that line. I want to make it even funnier. How could I do that? Let's let AI do it. And so I put it into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT came up with what I thought was a very funny, brilliant line. And so I put it on there. So that's the context for what Doug is about to say. Like, to make a long story short, too late. Go ahead, Doug.
But I wasn't gonna go into any of the details, other than if you haven't read the show notes from last week, go ahead and read them, because you will notice I love our show notes writer. I don't even know who our show notes writer is myself, but that person does do a really good job of usually capturing the essence of what happens in the episode, which is amazing, because they literally have between 7:30 p.m. Central Time and 5 a.m. So they have less than 12 hours. Like, stop the world. I need to listen to the Nice Guys on Business so I can write their fucking show notes. So it's basically our attitude. And I don't know why they've actually also accepted that as their attitude, but every week there are show notes.
Well, and I don't know how far back you read the show notes, but when you say that they have a very short time to capture exactly what happened on the episode,
right?
I don't read them all the time, okay? But when I
don't
do
either.
when I do read them, they are often, boy, these guys are such a bunch of fuck ups. Of course, I didn't listen to the whole episode. So I would say the show note writer captures the essence of the vibe that we're throwing down. But
nice.
Sometimes they get into more detail of what we actually said, but often they're just like, you know what? Fuck this. And with what we pay them, I get it.
In other words, what you're saying is they kind of understand that we're fuck ups, and they could write show notes based upon anything that we have ever said other than just what's in the episode itself. Is that what you kind of mean?
It's kind of what it's like. Yeah.
But that's okay, because you have show notes readers and then you have audio listeners. Do you think the same people that are listening to the audio are also reading the show notes?
I would say I think that a very small percentage of the people who are listening are actually reading the show notes. That's from my personal experience. Yeah.
So
Now, is there anybody who reads the show notes and doesn't listen? Probably not.
But who would do that? Like, who's gonna? Wouldn't you want to read the show notes? Say that was a pretty interesting stuff that was pretty interesting stuff they talked about. I want to listen. I want to listen to the details. It's like watching a movie as opposed to reading the book. You can get so much more out of reading the book. It's a lot longer. So in this case, the reading the book is listening to the audio because you can only capture so much vibe in your show notes.
True.
You know, we could do the transcription of it. And you know what we should do? The whole transcription of the entire episode and then feed that back into the audio generator and let it come up with that couple, the AI generated couple that does the episode based upon the summary of the show notes. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Okay, so I forget the name of the app that I use, but I took, like, let's say Nice Guys on Business, one of our episodes, Strick and I together, and then it says, so you feed that into the AI voice generator and you say, give me a summary of this, a 5-minute summary of this with a host and a co-host. Make the host male and make the co-host female. And it will literally take the transcript and come up with a script for the audio man and the audio woman, both of which are AI, and then you can play that as opposed to listening to the episode. It's like the Cliff Notes version of the episode, but in audio.
That's crazy.
It is.
Now, could we have it generate a summary version of the episode from our own voices?
Probably.
Wow, that'd be creepy.
It probably could. So show notes, absolutely great. Now, did someone, I'm afraid to ask this question because I don't know that I want to know the answer to it. Did somebody lose a job because AI is taking over?
No, just for the one night. I still paid the show note writer anyway. I mean,
well, you say that now. You
anyway.
say that now. Do you really mean that though? Do you think moving forward, knowing as enthusiastic as I am, which means that probably listeners in our audience might be enthusiastic also, do you think that we would have AI generate the next couple of sets of show notes, or is that not going to happen?
The next handful of episodes, maybe not. If your big concern is actually long term, are we going to be cutting jobs to AI? My answer would be, do you know what IBM made when they first started in the 40s as a company?
I think, did they make typewriters?
Typewriters and cash registers. IBM, of course, stands for International Business Machines.
Right.
Cash registers and typewriters.
Right.
Do they make cash registers and typewriters anymore?
If they do, they're out of business.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think they're a consulting company now.
Oh, they are 100%. They're like software and consulting company. I mean, they went from making typewriters and cash registers to making computers, and then to basically making software as a service. And now they are fucking business consultants. Well, so they have definitely evolved.
I'm glad you said that because I was concerned that the show notes writer may have lost a job. But in essence, though, what I heard happen was that you let the show notes writer go, but then they ended up working at the grocery store as the person that oversees the self-checkout aisle.
Well, that was it, right? Yeah. It's so funny when I see people who are like complaining about, don't use the self-checkout at the grocery store because you're putting somebody out of a job. Like, well, maybe they're just lowering, they don't have to hire so many people, so they're going to lower the grocery prices now, right? And like, dude, at some point, fucking, like, okay, let's say that 20 years ago, it's not even 15 years ago anymore. 20 years ago, we would have cashiers who had to look at the price and manually punch the amount in. Right. So at the grocery store, you would have to have 20 cashiers or the lines would get ridiculously long, right? Then they come up with the scan, right? And everything, you just basically scan the QR code, the fucking, the price code, right? So now there are only 10 cashiers, but you're moving more quickly. Did anybody complain about that? No, I don't think they did.
I think that the guy that runs the toll takers union, I think he's
there you go. That's a great one right there. When we would have to go over the Bay Bridge to go to Ocean City, and you get up to the Bay Bridge on a Friday afternoon, and there's a fucking 30-minute wait because when you got to get to the toll booth and you got to hand him the money and you got to get the fucking change and they get the receipt and they say thank you. Well, fucking Texas tag, and I know Maryland's got the same thing, right? Easy pass shit, right? Like, is anybody complaining about that? Because now there's no backup because you don't have to stop for the fucking toll. No, nobody complains about that shit.
Yeah, but they make it a little too easy with the Easy Pass lanes. I mean, remember that in Northern Virginia when they did the Easy Pass lanes, it was like at peak time it was like $30 to run through the Fast Pass or whatever it was, the Easy Pass lane.
Well, no, but that's when you get a choice to you can either go down this 4-lane highway, which we're telling you is backed up. Okay, we're telling you it's rush hour, but we have built this 1 lane solo that if you want to pay extra for it, you can. And during slow times, it only costs $5, but during busy times, you got to pay $30 if you want to fucking cruise through.
It is such a fucking racket, though. It's a racket because the only people using Easy Pass are the people that can afford to use Easy Pass. So in essence, they've built a lane for the rich people. Okay. Because, who's paying fucking $30 or whatever it was? And it was just this small, like 8-mile stretch of road. It's just to get you out of traffic. So you're waving to the poor people as you're going by.
Yeah. Well, Texas, I'm telling you, I'm in Austin and fucking every other goddamn highway is a toll highway, but it's a toll highway. It's not like, oh, there's an option for the fast lane. No, you have to pay the fucking toll on it feels like 50 to 60% of the highways.
Well, that's interesting because maybe that's partially why California is so fucking expensive at the gas tank is at the gas station, because I don't know the last time I paid a toll. I don't think there are any. I mean, there is in Southern California, there is a toll road, but I don't think I've ever been on it.
Interesting. I was just looking at gas prices, right? Obviously gas prices are up. Anybody that doesn't think that gas and grocery prices are up, turn off Fox News and change the fucking channel. Okay.
But all they got to do is go to the grocery store or gas station to see that they're actually higher.
Exactly. Apparently in the US, we pay the lowest percentage of tax on gasoline. In other words, the reason that it's much more expensive in Europe is because it's taxed much higher. Now, to me, this makes a ridiculous amount of sense, right? Let's say I'm driving a car. Now, what do I need to drive that car? I need a road. I need a highway. Okay, how does that get paid for? Well, I have to put gas in my car. So if the highway needs to be fixed, you should raise the taxes on my car. And it is a direct charge, which is perfect. Now, what is interesting is the workaround, of course, is my electric car because I don't pay
the workaround.
I don't pay tax on gas because I don't buy gasoline for my car. But that is what's interesting when I really think about it, about Texas. It's like, okay, in California, you do pay a higher specific state tax on gasoline in California, but in Texas, instead of raising the tax specifically on gasoline, they basically said, look, we're going to charge you to drive on the roads. And really, as much as I whine and complain about it, shit, I mean, who doesn't have to pay that tax to drive on the road? Somebody that doesn't use the fucking road, right? Okay, well, I guess it makes sense.
Do you pay state income tax in Texas? I can't remember.
No, there's no state income tax in Texas, but as most states that have no income tax, they make it up in other ways. It's basically property taxes are higher, car taxes. They raise taxes in other places in other ways. Yeah.
Why is it that all of these things are high for me?
Because you're in California. I mean, that's the bottom line.
High state taxes, and I pay income taxes, state income taxes. I pay a lot more at the pump. I pay high real estate taxes. Where's the fucking break? I'll tell you where the break is. I get to be outside 10 and a half months of the year without getting overheated. And those other 45 days, I might be a little hot, but there's never rain here in California.
It's true. And I got to tell you, if it was the difference between like if I had to either pay higher taxes here or go back up north and deal with the winters, fuck it. I'll pay higher taxes. Location, location, location.
All right, I'm going to ask you a question, and you just have to don't think through the answer. I just want you to give me your knee-jerk response. The first thing, I'm going to give you two choices, and you just have to say which is the answer for you.
Okay.
Okay. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
What do you pay monthly more of, or more, what is a greater expense every month? Amazon or groceries?
Oh, wow.
Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Just say it.
Honestly, it's hard because groceries are, it's like groceries, it's a big chunk. Probably Amazon.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm Amazon. I actually did that last month. I had this new, I forget the name of the program, but I've been using this app that tells you where your money's going.
Mm-hmm.
It's like $600 in Amazon, roughly $400 in groceries.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? I'm spending more in Amazon. And it was something that was, until I moved, really until about 7 or 8 years ago, I don't know that I ever used Amazon.
Well, my initial pushback to that is, hey, Amazon is a big umbrella, right? Amazon means like, oh, well, I order vitamins from there and cat food, but I also order home stuff, right? But here's the thing. The reality of it is when I think of something like if I were to look at everything I ordered over the last month on Amazon, and I think to myself, for each item, would I have purchased that if I had had to leave the house, go to Best Buy or Target or Walmart or wherever,
right,
purchase it, and then bring it home again? There are numerous things on the list that the answer would be no, I never would have bought it.
So you're saying, let me get this straight. So you're saying there would be an item that you wouldn't have that you may have needed had that item. The reason you didn't buy it or wouldn't have bought it is because you had to go and get it. Can you? Oh my God! So wait a minute. So what Strickland is holding up is a peace frog right now.
Like it is basically a little brass looking. It's not real brass. It's a brass looking frog who is like standing in like an Om, meditation yoga.
Is that
pose,
an Amazon purchase?
Well, let me tell you what it is. First of all, you see that? It is glasses holder. Okay. So they hold my glasses.
Got it. Okay.
So I have two pairs of glasses. I do have
Strickland, look.
Oh my God, you got a similar, right? But you got like a big, Doug's got one that's like a big fucking wooden nose. It looks like, right, exactly.
It looks good.
Exactly. Here, let me put my glasses on.
It's so funny you have one of those on your desk. I do too.
I know, right? Here. So here's mine.
Okay, so I thought you got it because there you go. That looks pretty cool. Not as funny as mine, but that looks cool. But without the glasses on it looks cooler than mine. So that wasn't I thought you were showing me that and I'm like, that's like a fucking impulse buy. But no, you probably went to Amazon and typed in glasses holder and that came up, correct?
Yeah. But it still was an impulse buy. Like if I thought to myself, okay, so I've got, like progressive lenses, right? Like don't call them bifocals. We're not that fucking old, but we are that fucking old. Progressive lenses. But when I got them like 2 years ago, they said, do you like work at a computer? Like you look at screens a lot. I'm like, oh yeah, all fucking day, right? They said, would you like a pair for working at the computer?
Right.
And it's basically a larger area of zoomed in, like this far away. And I was like, oh yeah, that sounds like a pretty good idea.
Yeah, it's kind of like readers for your computer that aren't quite as skinny as your regular progressives because you don't need any far off vision part of your lens.
Exactly. The close vision area is much larger.
Right.
And I had no fucking idea how much I was compensating for that before I had these. Like I sit at my desk, right? And I got my regular glasses on. And as soon as I sit down, I'm like, oh shit. I'm like craning my neck. And it's like, it reminds me to change my glasses immediately. They make a huge difference, right?
Same.
So every time I sit at my desk, I'm trading my glasses back and forth. And so that's why I needed a glasses holder. But the thought of that came to my mind. And what did I do? I went to Amazon, I did a search, I found a cute one, and I hit go. Now, what's the alternative? The alternative is I had thought of it, and then put it on a list somewhere. And then
Right.
next time I was out at Target, I would look for one.
And
But
where
then,
do you even find that in Target? Like,
there you go. Where would you find that in Target?
then I got to talk to somebody, and that goes back to the
Uh-huh.
whole checkout thing. I'm like, I don't want to even use the 99.9% of the time, unless I'm buying liquor, which you can't go through self checkout
Mhm.
in California. I am self checkout, and
Yep.
nobody's ever in that fucking line.
Yeah. And even, okay, so let's say I do find the area that has them at Target, right?
Right.
They don't have a big enough selection. I don't find one that actually speaks to me, right? So
Right.
what can I do? I can go home and I could like look for them on an Etsy shop or something, and then I can wait months until I actually get it. Fuck no, I would never get it. But the fact that I can click the link and Amazon says, would you like that in 2 days or would you like that this afternoon? What the fuck? Of course I'm gonna fucking get
Which
it.
is $2.99 or $25 purchase. You could have it same day, have it in 2 fucking hours. I'm like, oh my god.
Amazon makes it too fucking easy.
It's the greatest thing ever. I remember when Adam, my son, was dating his last girlfriend, who is name I will not mention because she is out of his life, and I thank God because we love this. His new girl, his new woman. Anyway, she would not buy anything through Amazon just because of principle alone. It's like, I'm not supporting, that oligarchy. So it's like, oh my God, seriously?
And I understand that, and I obviously I do not agree with it, but one of the reasons I don't agree with it is because 60% of all vendors on Amazon are small business vendors.
Yeah, but taken advantage of by the man. So they say, the people that are the the naysayers about Amazon. Well, yeah, well, Bezos is getting rich because he's paying them even less than they would get if the exposure. Think about all the businesses that have been fortunate enough to get started because Amazon has been around. And Amazon is not supporting us, and they are not a sponsor of our show. But God bless Amazon. I love that they're here.
I couldn't agree with you more. Like, I would say if you go to Amazon and you're like, I'm not buying the Amazon branded generic shit because I don't want to doubly support them. Okay, I stand behind that. I get that. But you said it. How many small vendors are out there who can't afford a brick and mortar store, or they don't want to make an investment in a brick and mortar store that could go out of business in a couple of years? And it's basically the Walmart like business model. Okay, so let's say you've got a widget that you're selling, right? And this is a unique widget that you sell, and you go to Walmart and you say, this is a $10 widget, and I'm selling it to stores right now for $5. Okay, you mark it up 50%, but you pay me $5 for the widget. The list price is $10.
$10.
So you mark it up 100%.
Yep.
And then even if it's on sale, you still make 50% on it, right? Okay. Walmart is going to come to me if I go to Walmart with that, right? Walmart is going to say, here's the deal. I'm going to pay you $4 instead of $5 for it. Okay. And because I'm only going to sell it for $6, right? And by the way, I need 100,000 of them, and I'm not going to pay you for them until I actually sell them.
Yeah, it's like
they're going to be on my shelf.
Yeah.
But here's the difference. From my website that I'm selling it for $10 and making $5 on it, I'm going to sell 50 of them. And I have to pay money for advertising just to sell 50 of them, right? But when I sell it to Walmart at a very, very low margin, they're going to sell 100,000 of them. That's the way I see Amazon. So Amazon says basically, yes, you need to pay me 3% or whatever. And if you want to be in the sponsored, you have to pay me 5% or 8%. You know what? Every individual vendor makes the choice to either lower their margin for the opportunity to be able to get in front of more eyeballs, or they can choose not to lower their margin and they won't sell as many.
This
and
has been some business
that's capitalism.
Advice. This is business advice from the Nice Guys on Business podcast. Don't ever say, Nice Guy community, that we don't teach you anything about business. You know what? If you're going to Walmart, no, Costco, get the hot dogs. Right? Hot dogs, so good. Hot dogs and a soda for $1.50. I mean, you can't beat that.
Have you ever been to Aldi?
Of course, we have Aldi's near us.
Okay. I was in Aldi the other day. We have one near us. In Texas, HEB, that's where you go for groceries. Period.
Right.
You don't go anywhere else, right? Well, there's an Aldi that's a little bit closer. And
nowhere near as big, though. It can't be near as big as it. Is it? Is it a
well,
big
that's
Aldi?
it. That's it. Aldi is nowhere near as big. They don't have nearly as much of a selection. And they don't sell like everything that you could possibly ever need. Right. They sell specific stuff. But if you know what you need in Aldi, they've got some Aldi branded stuff, right? Hot dogs. Maybe that's what made me think of this. Hot dogs. Okay. You can get a pack of 8 hot dogs, Aldi brand hot dogs. What would you expect to pay for an 8-pack of hot dogs, like Ballpark or Nathan's or whatever?
$6 for an 8-pack.
I think they're $5 or $6.
Okay, right. That's
right for a pack of 8.
I'd be really good at The Price is Right when it comes to that show. You know, like
How much do you think a pack of Aldi hot dogs costs? Their brand.
Well, Aldi is less expensive than the regular chains that are out there. It's usually the price conscious, kind of like Smart Shopper or one of those. I'm going to say, let's go half price. Let's go $3.
Less.
For 8 hot dogs?
8, a 1-pound package or 15-ounce package, whatever it is now, of hot dogs. And by the way, before we even get to the price, I tried them. They were very tasty. They were surprisingly tasty.
Are they all beef hot dogs or are they pork lips? I mean, who knows what but you know what? When you're eating a hot dog, you're taking your chance anyway, right?
It doesn't matter if it's Ballpark or Nathan's. You are 100% taking
I'll
your
get
chance
back to the price in a second. I just want to talk about Costco hot dogs for a second.
I can't remember the last time I had one of those.
I haven't had one in years, but what I recall when I had them, it was not only just a great hot dog, but it was the most amazing bun with like a little polenta on it, you know, like I think that's how I
gotta try them again, apparently.
Now, whether that's reality or not still today. And it wasn't like it was like a what do they call the mini dog? This was a huge hot dog, like an 8-inch dog.
Oh, it's a very big, long hot dog.
It's a full meal, this dog. $1.50. You cannot beat that.
Yeah.
So the pricing.
Okay, the thing is, you're saying you can't beat it, but
okay, actually, I said $3, but you said no. $1.99?
Less.
It can't be 99 cents.
88 cents.
That's less than 10 cents. That's more than a couple cents more than
fucking cents.
That's got to be their lost leader. It's got to be, because you think just to get somebody to package them, just the packaging itself, they're not making a profit at 88 cents for an 8-pack for a pound of hot dogs.
Well, unless they're selling 10,000 of them a week, which
it doesn't matter unless they still have to make a profit in order for that to be a profitable item. You can't sell something, hey, we're losing money on each one, but we're making it up in volume. That's not how that works. You still have to make a profit on one.
So it's interesting that the approach that you take, the perspective that you look at it is, that's impossible. How can they make a profit? My perspective is, how much fucking profit is Ballpark making on every goddamn package of hot dogs? And I think the even better example of that is cereal. Like, you've gone into the grocery store and seen like the generic bag of cereal, right?
Right.
And usually the generic bags of cereal, which are just like the same, Frosted Flakes are just like fucking Rice Krispies. They taste almost exactly the same. They are typically half the price for a bigger bag. And again, to me, they are absolutely still making a profit on those, because it's not always the store brand, right? It's not always like the HEB brand. There is like whatever fucking generic company that makes them, because it doesn't say Kellogg's on it. How much profit is Kellogg's making? That's what it's all about.
Well, I feel the same way about Trader Joe's. Not only do they sell inexpensive products, but they sell them in their name, so they're not promoting. So you can't get them anywhere other than at Trader Joe's, which is great. I looked up the Aldi hot dogs at 89 cents. Aldi offers Parkview hot dogs for around 89 cents to drive store traffic, especially during the summer, as a loss leader to encourage shoppers to buy other items. That's what I was thinking too.
Okay, you were right.
You get people in Let's see. This aggressive pricing is possible due to their low overhead business model, limited staff, in-store packaging, and deposit system for carts. Oh, do they have a deposit? I've never taken a cart at Aldi.
If you want a cart at Aldi, you put 25 cents into a machine and basically get the cart out. And then when you return it, you get 25 cents back.
Oh, you get your, they don't have to. Is that enough incentive for somebody to actually take the cart back to? I guess if you're shopping at Aldi, it's for the price conscious shopper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let me tell you another thing that was about price consciousness. So I got my renewal on my homeowner's insurance here in California, and it went up 30% over last year. And then I looked at the year before, which was 20% up from the year before.
Oh my God.
Then I would look back to the year before, which was 30% up from there. And then I went back to the year before, and I discovered my homeowner's insurance in the last 5 years of living here has gone up 130%. Okay, so that gives me pause to renew. So I sent an email to my agent and I said, hey, Desmond, I think I'm going to shop for other insurance. Don't take me off the policy, but take me off of auto renewal because I got to shop this. It's gone up 130%.
Yeah.
And I said, this isn't, I can't afford. I mean, my insurance was like ridiculous. It became like another mortgage payment. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. So I talked to AAA. I don't know if you use AAA for anything other than, do you even use AAA as like a AAA service?
I used to. I think I got it for my daughter because her truck is such a piece of shit.
Yeah, well, that's why I have the AAA, because I have like 8 cars in my house. And I'm like, it's not a bad deal for I think $250 for me and JJ. I've taken every one of my 4 tows a year that I've got. So it's good. Anyway, so AAA also offers, and by the way, AAA is not endorsing sponsoring. We don't actually know what we're talking about here other than through personal experience. So,
but they could be. If somebody from AAA is listening, please.
Yes.
Reach out to us.
We would be happy to make shit up if we get paid for it too.
Exactly.
So anyway, this is a true story. So I called AAA and they were like, it's X amount of dollars. And I'm like, wait a minute. That's literally 40% of what I am paying right now. How can there be for homeowners insurance, one company charging, let's say $3,000 and another company charging $1,200? How is that possible?
And it's the same deductible?
Same deductible, same coverages, same everything. A national carrier of insurance versus AAA. I'm like,
that's
they're a car company. So I'm like, I got to do that. So then I started checking other stuff out that I do. And it's like all of my classic car insurance is going to be moved over to AAA. They're less expensive on all that too. Like,
interesting.
What the fuck?
And they don't actually, I'm guessing they're not actually the insurer, right? They're like third party. They pass it to somebody else.
I guess so. The only thing that I had to do, which was kind of interesting, was they have, everything's AI and automated nowadays. So they send you an application, and you actually have to walk around your house and take photos of all of the things that they want you to take photos of. Like,
really?
Take a picture of your outside facing the garage, open the garage door, take a picture of your garage, take a picture of your backyard, take a picture of the side, left and right, both bathrooms, anywhere that has plumbing, they want you to take a picture of. So it's like,
wow.
I don't know the purpose of any of those other than to see that we actually have a legitimate standing house.
And to make sure that it's not like falling apart already, right?
I can't believe that they've never done that before. Like I've never had like somebody come out and take photos of my house when I've insured it. Have you?
No, me neither. And that's interesting. Like if I could save 40% or 50% or more on my annual homeowner's insurance, like I would take 10 minutes to fucking walk around my house and take pictures for that. Hell yes.
That's basically what it took, about 10 minutes to go around. And it's like, I don't even know I guess they're looking to, like, are they looking for, is this a potential fire hazard? Are they looking for, they can't see a leaky faucet, but right. Are they looking for, is this bathroom a disaster? Take a picture. There are some neighbors that are here. Like one guy in my backyard, he's got like a whole second story that you can easily tell it's like a homemade second story.
Oh, shit.
It's like there's no way he's getting homeowners insurance from anybody, let alone taking pictures and sending them to AAA.
Yeah. So, shit, I had something in my head just now. Oh, I had to replace my roof like a year ago.
I remember.
And the house is like 3 years old, right? But we had hail damage and it was really bad.
Right.
But homeowners insurance, I have a 2% deductible, right? For major stuff, but it's 2% of the value of your house.
Right.
So that's a huge fucking deductible.
Yeah.
Thousands of dollars that I had to pay for deductible. And so, yeah, I need to start looking around for like, because I think they said, hey, we're not going to raise your rate, but your deductible's 3% now. And I'm like, no, fucking no. Anyway.
Oh God, that is a lot. It seems like that would be a lot. Oh, well, we have one extra thing in California. You have the option to buy earthquake insurance.
Oh, God,
so with earthquake insurance, the insurance isn't very expensive. It's the deductible is ridiculous. They offered it through AAA, and they also offered it through the last company I was with. It was like a $700 or $800 premium, which it's a lot, but it's not like thousands of dollars until you realize that you have the privilege of having an $85,000 deductible.
What?
Like, why? I know. 85 grand for a deductible.
What the fuck?
I guess if there is a problem and homeowners insurance isn't going to cover it if there was an earthquake, but then wouldn't FEMA take over? I mean, I would think that I don't know.
Wow.
You know what? It's somebody else's $700. I am not fucking spending $700 for earthquake insurance. The last major earthquake that was here in Ojai was a few years ago. I think it was the biggest one in decades. I think it was a 5.1, and yeah, it was a pretty heavy boom, but it wasn't like, I mean, it would require a lot of shaking in order for this house to come down.
All right, are we ready we have one voicemail.
Oh, voicemail. Yeah, let's do the voicemail.
Okay, screen 2.
We actually have someone coming over for dinner tonight. So I am on Caesar salad duty. So we're about 10 minutes before. If you're trying to back time what you need to do, we got about 10 minutes left in the episode. Just so
because I'm still waiting on my pizza. I'm surprised it hasn't come yet. It says picked up, but
have you seen oh, go ahead, just play.
You ever do the trackers?
I was just about to say.
Like the pizza trackers, right?
Yeah. It's crazy how of course they know where it is because you fucking have a GPS on the pizza.
Well, it's funny because I don't remember. No, actually, I do. I know exactly when I ordered it because I finished the order right before we got on, right?
Right.
Then I actually got a text from them at 5:40. So that was 9 minutes after I'd finished the order. Your order's almost ready, making sure everything is chef's kiss. Okay, great. And I look on the website and it says picked up.
Oh.
In other words, like the driver.
Did you DoorDash it? Did you DoorDash it?
I don't fucking know. I just said deliver it to me, right? So it's showing picked up, but it doesn't. It used to be I knew where the car was, right?
Are you Domino's or would you use Domino's or something else?
Papa John's.
Same idea.
Papa John's.
I love Papa John's, and I love Domino's too. I don't understand why people don't like that pizza.
I know. I really like that. I like Papa John's.
And they always have like such a great. I mean, you still end up spending a lot for the pizza, but you get a lot of fucking pizza.
Right. Exactly. But it just says picked up, and I don't know. It doesn't say where the guy is, and it doesn't say how far away he is. But if it was almost done 50 minutes ago, it is not going to be.
You would think that it would be. I don't know what's traffic like in your neck of the woods right now.
All
right, let's get to the voicemail.
Let's get to the voicemail here.
We got it.
Okay.
We got a voicemail from Jared. I said a voicemail from Jared. You know a voicemail from Jared. Nobody else will call. We got a voicemail from Jared. Screw the rest of y'all.
Have you ever had like a family quarrel?
Not often.
I mean, have you ever yelled at like a relative so much so that you're just like, you're just completely pissed off at them?
That's a good question. I don't know that I have actually, because I just don't
Well, you're a
really.
pretty easygoing guy. You probably
Yeah.
wouldn't be the one that would like hold a grudge, or you don't talk to that person in your family because of something that they did like 4 decades ago. I mean, that's like
Mm,
that's not your agenda, but
not my
it
style.
probably was of the generation that was before you. So
Hmm.
the thing that I just don't understand is like, could you imagine just having a feud with somebody, but then elevating the feud? It's like instead of it just being arguing, you're breaking out a gun and you're like taking like 5 other people with you, and you're gonna like just complete like there was a shooting today between, I don't know if it was a family, but between two like groups of people. I don't know if it's
Okay.
is it like gangs? Is it just I just see, and they go to a fucking food court at a mall, and this shootout at a mall. Like who would have a shoot if you're going to shoot somebody that you're in a feud with? Could you do it in a less public place than a mall? Possibly. The fuck?
For any of you, we're not going to get into the details of like pro gun or not pro gun,
Right, right.
but for anybody that is listening to this and says, "Oh, well, we have so many mental health problems in the United States. That's the issue. It's not the guns, it's the mental health problems." I want you to compare the United States to every other country in the world that has less than 10% of the gun violence that we have, and just find one thing that is different, because it ain't fucking mental health. Okay. The one thing that's different is the availability of the fucking guns. Okay.
Well, and I'm not necessarily a gun control, not gun control, NRA. I don't even look. Yes, we have so many guns here in the United States. Do people have the right to have the guns? Well, it's in the Constitution, so sure, why not have people have guns? But there's got to be some level of like, people are walking into food courts with 5 other people behind them and saying, "Let's go kill the motherfuckers," and then they run into 5 other people, and those people have guns too. How is it that all? And when was the last time, Strickland, you took a gun to the mall? Just wanna ask you this.
That would be never.
Never, never.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's
God.
definitely interesting. Not to go down the rabbit hole here, because to say that yeah, let's not go down that rabbit hole.
Okay.
Let's forget it. Let's
That's
forget it.
fine. No worries.
I'm just going to say, I personally am not a gun guy. I don't own guns. I don't personally like guns. But having said that, I don't want to take every gun away from every fucking gun owner everywhere in the United States. And even if somebody did say they wanted to do that, it's not fucking possible or practical. But it would be nice if it would be a little harder than just walking down to a Walmart and fucking handing over, $100 and you can go buy a rifle and walk out the door with it.
So do you think making it harder? I mean, people hunt. So how do you take away the right, not the right, but it's like it's so easy to get guns, but could you make it more difficult for them to get guns? And people would still have guns because the reality of it is the only people that are going to follow the rules are the non-outlaws following the rules. So it's what's the expression? If you outlawed guns, only only outlaws would have guns.
Right. But I don't think we should outlaw guns. Do you remember the what was the thing, the car thing where you put it on the steering wheel and it would lock the
Yeah,
steering wheel?
the club,
The club, right?
right.
Okay. So the thing with the club
Uh-huh.
was a great deterrent. Now, was it a good deterrent because it was impossible to steal a car that had a club? No. It was very easy to just slit the goddamn steering wheel, pop it off, and go. But if somebody wants to steal a car and they see the claw,
Move on to the next
and they see
car.
the next one, there's no, that's it. So all I'm saying is, if it's a little harder to buy a fucking gun, if you actually have to cars, you can't drive a car, you can't buy a
Need a
car
license,
without
need a
having a
license,
driver's
right.
license, right?
I don't mind that. I think you're right. I think I feel where you're heading, and I think that you're right. If they made it maybe a little bit more, they got to do some sort of IQ test. Maybe hey, if in order for me to get on a motorcycle, get my motorcycle license, I have to take a safety course.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't there be some sort of, I'm not saying a waiting period, but how about forget the calling it a waiting period. Well, you got to take the safety class. Oh yeah, but I've taken that safety class. Sorry, you have to take the safety class with this weapon. So it's going to take you 2 hours to do it, and you can do it anytime you want. And here's your options. I think that kind of stuff, I don't mind that. I agree with you. I don't want to outlaw guns. I'm not a gun guy either. We have a BB gun in our house to deter the coyotes from eating our cats. But that's it. But our neighbor, he's got probably 100+ guns in his house.
Jesus, that's nuts.
He is an avid hunter. He loves guns. He just
okay. No, nope. We're not going to go down that. Not going to go down the rabbit hole.
No worries. All good.
No, I was just going to say, like, I could be the greatest, most avid fucking hunter in the world. Do I need 100 guns?
I love trucks. Do I need 3? Can I just have one? Can I get, what's the difference between 1 and 10? Well, now that I have 10, why can't I buy 10 more?
Yeah.
So it is just a matter of he likes the some of them are heirlooms, some of them he could be an antique collector. He's not, but I don't know. He's got a gun for every occasion, I guess. And he's a super nice guy. He is the sweetest man and very family, church-going guy. Not a quiet guy. Not the guy that you think is going to pop off his neighbors because he's, got into a bad mood or anything. Very responsible. They're all in the safes in his house. But, you're right. Do you need 100 guns? I don't know. Why is it for me to say?
Okay. Anyway, time for
do it.
Voicemail.
Hey, Doug, Sheriff Jared here. So, listening to you guys talk and got to hear Emily call and leave a voicemail because you guilted her into it. As I was listening, I glanced down and I caught the show notes.
The show notes, yes.
And whoever does the show notes, fabulous. Absolutely love the show notes writer. You guys know this. I mean, I did a special little tribute to him. The depth of comments around Emily. I mean, you just have, listen, anybody that's not read the show notes last week, so now that you're listening to this, it's episode 1709. Go back to 1709 and read the show notes about Emily. It's a must do. All right, fellas, appreciate you. Love the show. See you guys.
Maybe I should write the show notes more often, or I should use ChatGPT's help and write the show notes more often.
So what is the process? Do you have to just feed the transcription through the GPTer?
Well, in this case, I actually had a very specific thing that I so if you read last week's notes, which you say you did,
yes,
the very first sentence talking about Emily,
right?
I wrote the first sentence. And then I thought, boy, it would be really funny if I sort of expanded on this idea. So I said to ChatGPT, in fact, I could just pull it right up here because I'm sure I have the chat here. And this was right after I asked ChatGPT to recreate Royal Farms chicken for me. So that is definitely.
What's interesting is you're pulling up a conversation that you had with ChatGPT about a week ago, because it was a week ago today that you had to do that. If I did that, I'd have to scroll through literally 40 other conversations that I've had with ChatGPT this week.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Let's see, where is it? Maybe I actually don't see it in here now. Maybe I didn't save it or something. I don't know. Anyway, the bottom line is I wrote the first sentence and I said, expand on this to an extreme level and use lots of big words. And that's what it did. And I also have a specific, my ChatGPT has an attitude, like a personality.
Right.
And so I think that fit into that. I'm really thinking hard on my pizza now, right? It's been 50 minutes, but you know what I realized? Remember when we first signed on, before you hit, was this before we hit record or after we hit record?
Before.
I noticed that there was no place to add a tip, right?
Right.
Like Papa John's, it's like there was no option to add.
Yeah, but it said it left the house. Didn't it say it was picked up?
Yeah, but I wonder, is it taking a really long fucking time because I didn't put a tip on it?
Oh, no. I can't imagine that would be the case, because how would they know if you prefer or not prefer to leave a cash tip?
True. Yeah.
And wouldn't you think they would work harder to get it there faster when you didn't put a tip in the automated? Because, hey, if I get there extra fast, I'll get a big tip.
I don't know. I think if I'm a delivery driver, percentage wise, I would guess that the percentage of
No.
people that don't put a tip on when they pay ahead up front,
Yeah.
the percentage of people that don't give a tip at all are probably higher than the ones that are tipping in cash.
I actually prefer when whoever I'm ordering automatically puts the tip in. Just charge me for the tip, because while I want a tip for that, it's just the same as, to me, almost the same to me as the person at the counter that's turning the cash register point of sale thing, and literally they just did their job. They rang up the order.
Yeah.
Now, if you told me that delivery people live on their tips rather than they get paid in ink, now I don't know this. How does delivery people? I worked for Domino's when I was in college, but that was just in 1984, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you do get a certain amount of money per delivery.
Right,
And
right.
it may even be I don't know if this for sure, but I think it is a percentage
I
of
don't
whatever
remember.
the cost of it is.
Right.
But if there was not tipping understood, it would not be worth it for anybody to do. Like, they
Okay.
make money, but they make very little. They absolutely
But
are making a lot of money from
wouldn't
tips.
it be like you'd know that before you took the job?
Oh gosh, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, okay. All right. So you'd know that. So you have to go into it with the attitude of some will, some won't. Fuck it. Some are going to tip, some aren't going to tip. Okay. Just overall, I'm going to make out better if I provide speedy service. And I'd have to think that unless you're dealing with Super Bowl Sunday, that waiting times to get it out of the store are not excessive. Would you agree or disagree?
I'm looking at my Papa tracker, right?
Uh-huh.
And I would almost feel better if it said
That's right.
still cooking. Like,
Right.
we're really backed up and it took us a while to get it in the oven.
Right.
But instead, from what I can tell, it was picked up at probably quarter till, which was 50 minutes ago. If it's been sitting in somebody's fucking car for 50 minutes while the guy's like, oh, dude, I got to pull over and smoke a doob here, dude.
I was just about to say that Papa John's has invested millions, if not $1 billion in technology. The app that you're looking at, the pizza ovens, the counter, the system that they have in place. And they still have to deal with the weak link, which is the stoner that picks it up and has to smoke a doob roadside.
That is it. That is it exactly.
Your organization is only as good as its weakest link. It's the stoner sitting on the side of the road. That's your weakest link. All right, let's head out of here. You got a pizza to track down. We'll get out of here. Until next week, Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
For the Nice Guys on Business, I'm Steve O'Brien. I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids.
The Nice Guys on Business presents Real Misfits of Genius. Real Misfits of Genius. Today we salute you, Mr. or Ms. Show Notes Writer. Mr. or Mrs. Show Notes Writer. Never has one person done so much with so little. Shit shows don't give you much to work with. From one host not listening to the other, to the clinking of ice cubes in an empty glass of Fireball. Oh, I need my Fireball. If it wasn't for you, the only entertainment we would get from these guys would be Steve O'Brien. And of course, voicemail from Jared. Not really Jared, just his theme song. So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, oh poet of the show notes, because when it comes to making these guys look good, no one does it better.
My wife just walked by and she opened the door and she goes, "What the hell are you doing in there?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's, a client." She goes, "What kind of clients do you have now?"